Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Hare Krishna. Hello friends, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. This is Ritendra Rathod and I am preacher of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And today I come with very special lecture. Today I am going to preach Quran Sharif and make people understand about the real importance of the Quran Sharif in our life and how Quran Sharif is related with our with our blood circulatory systems or human physiology. I am trying to compare Quran Sharif with a scientific theory or with a science or human physiology. But before I start my lecture, I would like to introduce Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Quran Sharif turn by turn. I am also having both. I am also having Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This is Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, written by S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Mahaprabhupada from ISKCON temple. And this is the most authentic source, and this is a book of the humanity rather than religions, and I am only trying to propagate a humanity on basis of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, because Srimad Bhagavad Gita is the best way to morally motivate to anybody. Even the Quran Sharif is the best way to morally motivate to anybody. I am trying to preach Quran Sharif and Srimad Bhagavad Gita for Hindu-Muslim unity, because in this current scenario the Hindu-Muslim unity is required most, and I am only trying to propagate humanity, because neither Srimad Bhagavad Gita nor Quran Sharif or Al-Quran both are not book of the religions or spiritual book, but actually book of the pure science and humanity. So I have to start, but I am also having Quran Sharif. I have to introduce. This is Quran Sharif. Actually, this is the Quran Sharif, and this is the most authentic source and book of humanity rather than religions. And we have to start. Let's begin. The Holy Quran, and this is the direct relation with the Holy Quran with the circulatory system, human circulatory system, human blood circulatory system. So the Holy Quran versus the blood and milk circulatory system, human physiology, and I am trying to find a similarity and trying to relate Quran Sharif with the human circulatory system. Ayat number 66, chapter or surah number 16 or of Al Quran. I must have to repeat ayat number 66, chapter number 16 of Al Quran or Quran Sharif. The Prophet Muhammad stated, and verily in the cattle there is a lesson for you. Verily in the cattle there is a lesson for you. We give you to drink of what is inside their body. We give you to drink of what is inside the body of the cattle, and coming from the conjunction between the content of the intestine and the blood, and that is called a milk. And a milk is pure and pleasant for those who drink it. The milk is very pure and pleasant who drink it. So Prophet said, in the verily in the cattle there is a lesson for you. We give you, Prophet give you to drink what is inside in that body or in their bodies or in the bodies of the cattle, and coming from the conjunction between the content of the intestine and also blood. Milk is pure and pleasant for those who drink it. Milk is very pure and pleasant who drink it. So it is like that. Muhammad further stated. Muhammad further said in verse number 21st, chapter number 23, verse number 21st, chapter number 23 of Holy Quran or Quran Sharif. In this chapter or in this verse, Prophet said, Muhammad stated, and in the cattle to you have an instructive example. In the cattle you are having an instructive example. And from within their body we produce a milk for you. From within their body we produce a milk for you to drink, and there are in them besides the numerous and benefit for you, and of their meat is not have to eat. Prophet said the meat should not be eaten by man. So man should not have to eat non-veg or meat. So it is like that. The benefit for you, and their meat you should not have to eat. It is like that. You have to drink a milk. It is stated in the Quran Sharif, but You should not have to eat meat. It is also stated in Quran Sharif. This is not wrong. This is rightly stated in Quran Sharif. So what Prophet said in next verse in Surah number 96, verse number 2. Surah number 96, verse number 2. Quran Sharif said, "Kulikal insan min alaka." Here Prophet said, "Kulikan insan min alaka." Here meaning the means of here meaning of this verse or purport of this verse is all Allah created a human being for alaq. Allah created a human being for alaq. The accepted meaning of the alaq is that initial embryonic stage or state, initial embryonic stage or worm stage or embryonic stage, and when it is in the form of the leech like a clot of the blood clinged to or suspended from the wall of the uterus. It is like a pure science how the worm created in the womb. How embryos are to be created in the womb. So it is clearly mentioned in Quran Sharif, and like a wall of the uterus. And also at this stage, although there is a redemptory formation of the human cardiovascular or blood circulatory system, the heart is not started beating, and the embryos has not yet acquired distinct human characteristics. In the later revealed Surah number 86, however, the Quran speaks of the another ingredient of the raw material other than alaq. It is something different. The human embryonic system, it is called alaq, and which has gone into the making of the insan. Alaq is required to make an insan or human. So it is means in the Quran Sharif, alaq is stated embryonic stage or embryos, and embryos is mainly responsible for making a human body. So it is a pure science. Pure science is mentioned in Quran Sharif. Further said in verse number 5 to 8 of this 5 to 8 of this surah number 86. Here said, "Falayan zuril insanu minama khalik mina dafika ya khurju ninabanisa sulabi watarabil inahu ala rajahi lakdir." This is in the Arabic language. Actually, I am not habituated to speak in Arabic language. That's why my accent is not too good, even though I have tried my best to speak in Arabic. So let's move toward the translation in English. Insan should then consider what means he or she has been created. He or she has been created by means of the gusing fluid, like an embryonic fluid, and embryonic fluid or vaginal fluid, both are different, and I have to say it is a pure science. And which fluid comes out from between the spine and ribs. The fluid come out from the spine and ribs, and verily it is indeed capable of the being returned. What Prophet said what Prophet further said. Prophet here said, I am aware that translation of being. That translation I have given in the above paragraph, it is not orthodox one, but then, as anybody can see, the orthodox translation has deviated from the plain meaning of the words used in the Quran Sharif to suit the translator's own idea about the message and also verses are conveying. The preconceived ideas of the translators. The preconceived idea of the translator is that the gusing fluid refers to in the above quoted verse of the surah number 86 is a semens, like a sperm and semens. The sperms and semens both are mentioned in Quran Sharif, like a sperms or semens that sprout out of the male organ, that is a sprout out from the male organ or penis, during the sexual interaction or sexual intercourse. It is a science. So what I have to say? It is also pure science and human physiology. Whenever there is a sexual interaction or intercourse, the human sperms come out. So it is like that. It is mentioned in Quran and Sharif. But when these preconceived ideas, the translator had a problem. The Simon obviously does not uh, gives out from the between the backbone and also the ribs, nor for that matter it is a produce there. Then is the word of the Allah Nazahu Billah wrong. No, explain the translator. The Siemens producing the organs are originally embedded. The Siemens producing the organs originally embedded in the fetus and between the backbone and the ribs, but the gradually descends until the birth of the child to their position at the birth between the legs. So it is clearly mentioned in Quran and Sharif, and also further Quran and Sharif was stated, Prophet stated, even an adolescent can say the translator above the explanation is not but a stretching of the imagination of the vain bead to justify their interpretations of the divine verses. There are other explanations given in which are equally unconceiving. Such a justification can't but cast doubt on the veracity of the Quran being of the word of the Allah. The Allah says the Quran, Jalikal Kitabu La Rabiba Fihi. La Rabiba Fihi means the meaning or the purport is of this terms or this line is, this sentence is, this is the book wherein there is no doubt. This is said in Quran and Sharif, verse number 2, chapter number 2 of Quran and Sharif. This is the book where there is no doubt. It is clearly mentioned in Quran and Sharif. And what other things mentioned in Quran and Sharif?